Hello and welcome to another episode with me, Deep With Kayla, and today I have...
Peaches.
There we go, I love that name. Just makes me think Tushy.
It never even started that way, and then people started saying, oh, that's why you're called Peaches.
Oh, what is the story behind it?
I was watching an episode of Seinfeld, and...
I used to love Seinfeld.
I was addicted. I used to just watch it all throughout my
Are
dissertation.
you not my age then?
I'm 34.
Oh, 37, yeah, okay.
Yeah, close to,
Yeah.
It was always on Comedy Central when I
Yeah,
was younger.
yeah.
And there's this episode where Kramer is obsessed with getting these peaches that are only ripe for 2 weeks out of the year.
Okay.
And I was in a depression hole, and I was starting up my page, and I was like, I need to think of a name. I'll just go with Mackinac Peaches.
I love that!
Yeah, everyone's got these like really good names they've really thought about, and I was just on the sofa like, oh God.
Yeah. I picked my name quick because I knew with me and my brain I would put off starting going into the industry because I would be stuck on, but what shall I call myself?
Yeah.
You know? And I've always loved the wild aspects because at first I wanted to do the whole like nature vibe
And you wear like leopard print, I've seen.
I do, I like animal print, and then I realised on OF you couldn't actually do outdoors. Because I wanted to do lots of stuff like in nature and things.
Yeah.
I thought, I can't do
and
that.
You have to put it at the bottom that this is shot on private land. And,
yeah. My scene with Andy Lee, the Halloween one, not Twilight, we did it in a forest.
Oh.
And
was it all closed, like fairly private, or?
Yeah.
Dog walkers walking.
They did! They actually did, and then we went in and shot the scene, yeah. But I had the disclaimer, and they still took it off mine. I don't think they took it off his.
But you can do like many vids allows it.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah,
it's on there.
And Fansly as well.
Yeah, I've just created a Fansly and I don't know how to work it, so...
I can walk you through it.
Okay.
I've been struggling with it for years.
Have you?
Yeah, but you get to a point and you're like, right, okay, this is how you do this now.
Do you find it overwhelming with how many apps and platforms and everything there is? Because me doing it on my own, I'm just like, my brain is fried.
Every time I work with someone else, they always say, like, oh, are you on Clips for Sale?
Yeah.
Or a site that I'm not on. I'm like, I'm not, but I really just don't have the time or the energy to do anything.
No, that's the same as me.
Yeah.
I would need like a team around me that can do all of that because I can just about remember things as it is.
Yeah.
Let alone bring anything more into the mix.
I did get an assistant for a while.
Did you?
And that kind of like really helped in terms of scheduling and all that stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I can start up a new site with this. And that's when I did Peaches Teachers for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Which just kind
I like
of
that.
fell a little bit. I'm
It's
going to
a
get back
good
into
name,
it at
though.
some point. Yeah.
I love that. Peaches Teachers.
But then I realised the amount I was paying the assistant, it levelled out to what I was earning anyway. And I was like, well, I'll just drop one. And
okay. Yeah. I hear that. But by the way, prior to starting this, the length of time it took for me to actually sit down, I was like, I forgot the SD card, and what else was it?
bathroom break. I mean, dogs and cats. Dog and cats going mad.
Yeah. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing looking pod, but the thing is, do you know what I realised? I was like, okay, everyone has to start somewhere. And it's like Peaches will come here and we'll sit down for a chat, and I'm filming this now, and the whole time prior to sitting and while sitting here, my brain is like, it's not good enough, you're not good enough, you look like this, you look like that. I'm so aware of my narratives, that tell me it always is like, in a sense, mugging me off.
It's that imposter syndrome thing that always gets me, and I think, how am I doing this right now? How are people actually watching me on the internet and listening to what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I mean, I always tell, at the end of the day, you have to kind of like slap yourself out of it. Metaphorically, not like. Because otherwise, those thoughts will get to you, and then you won't do things.
Exactly.
That people want you to do.
100%. The way I picture it is, I always say I'm in my tank. Like, I use a lot of visual, and so I visualise myself in this like tank, like water tank, and I'm just busting through the fear barrier. That's how I
like
sort of
see.
Yeah, like
magician ones.
Like, no, like a full-on like war tank. You know, like.
Oh, a tank. I thought you said water.
No, tank. God, how do I speak? speak?
Well, no, because so like, where are you from?
A war tank.
So,
yeah.
Like water. Like,
sorry. Yeah.
No. I mean, yeah, it's just my ears again. I did a test. I did a test the other day. One of those things on TikTok that like tests your hearing.
Oh, I've not seen them.
It starts at like a certain pitch and then it goes down until you can hear it. And like my friend who was doing it with me went like, "Yep, I can hear that." And so their hearing age was like 22, and I just couldn't hear anything. And then it goes boop, and I was like, "Oh right, my hearing age is 56."
Oh. Oh my God, I wonder what mine is. Because I wonder whether that's why I speak so loud.
What? 'Cause I mean, can you hear like your in
so.
general? Like,
yeah, I think
it
so.
should be alright then, because
I'm
I'm the one that has to like turn the TV up a lot. And stuff.
I do turn the TV up.
But then again, that's also something that neurodivergent people have, isn't it?
Yes.
They need to have stuff loud. Subtitles.
Yeah, because it's not like I can't hear it. And I test myself sometimes and I'll have it at a certain volume and I think you can actually hear what they're saying, but it doesn't feel like I can hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm actually like there, I'm like, well, you can.
Did you ever do those language oral exams in school where you had to listen and then repeat? I was
I can't even remember.
I was just shocking at them. Like,
really?
Say, like, Je
m'appelle Peaches.
Je m'appelle Peaches.
We're going to be filming a scene today as well, and we have shot together before.
Yeah, we've done 3 scenes. We jam-packed those scenes in that day.
We did. I work within the school hours, so I'm like, let's get to work.
Yeah, it's good. I
get shit done.
I think some of the most frustrating shoots when people aren't kind of like driven to do a scene and you're kind of waiting around for 2 hours before things start.
Yeah.
And during that time, usually, like, there's one person who's constantly kind of getting ready and then the other person just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably frustrating for both.
Yeah.
But yeah, like making sure that you have like at least a faint outline of what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. I always like save... Oh, excuse me. I always save... He's seen a dog. He's like neighbourhood watch, my dog, honestly. He's good for that. I like save social media bits and reels and then have a sort of general, like loose sort of idea, pack a few outfits and then get up early, get my hair, my makeup, everything done. And then I'm just good to go. Yeah. Because I know I'm always limited with time. So I have to work with what I've got. And to be honest, every time I'm shooting, it's always a very productive day. Well,
and I mean, you seem like you're working a lot. You're getting loads done.
Yeah.
Like your socials are shooting up and stuff as well. So like working your arse off.
But I don't know what's going on with socials at the moment because, I mean, probably about a month ago, I think my 30-day reach on Insta was like 10.4 million.
Whoa.
Yeah. But now it's 3.4. And I'm doing the same. But I suppose unless you sort of know Instagram or know some of the inside on what's going on with the algorithms, you don't really know what you're meant to do to gain that traction.
Yeah, I mean mine kind of like sits at 1 million until I get a video that goes up.
Yeah.
And that can be like that can shoot up to 3, it can go back down to 800,000.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I think it's all that, like, it's just putting stuff out consistently, isn't it?
Which I have done since I started in September 2023. I doubt there's been many days where I've not posted 4 times a day.
Yeah, like your stuff comes up on my feed.
Does it? Oh, good. Yeah. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Mostly your photo posts, actually.
Yes. Instagram likes me doing photos more than reels, and everyone's like, do reels, and I love doing them. I think reels are really fun. Yeah. Really fun. I love the creativeness of it and the lip syncing and all of that. But they prefer me doing pictures. Yeah.
It's just, I think it's people are just more inclined to comment on them as well.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Like, I always get way more like thirsty comments on the photos.
Yes, this is what I was gonna say. Yeah. I can post something really nice. You know, like yesterday, I think I posted something about, you know, that trend that's going around, like, I was looking for love until I realised I wave at strangers and I say hi to dogs and it's like, I am love. And I thought, I really love that. Yeah. I want to do that, sorry. That's right. And I done one and it gets like 41 likes. You post a thirsty one and they're like 860 likes, you know, and you're like, can we just like the my stuff too.
And the stuff that you put so much effort into.
Yeah.
As well. I always like the stuff that bums me out the most when it doesn't do well is the comedy, because I love having a laugh, I love praying about, but if it gets like 30 likes in the first day,
it's a killer, isn't it? And you're like, I really liked that.
But then there's one thing I learned from my mate Shaney was to just let it sit, because sometimes it can, after like 2 weeks, it can just come back.
Right.
And that's literally just happened to a video, like shot up to 16k overnight.
Right.
But I was going to delete it because it wasn't doing well.
Oh, that's interesting, because sometimes I do delete stuff that hasn't done.
I would genuinely keep it there. Okay. Like, one of the most popular ones on Instagram at the moment is me, I think it's a lip sync to a Donald Trump quote or something, and it's about
your one's
the king
me out.
thing. So, it's, he says, like, I have concepts of a plan, I'm not president right now, and I had a caption about, like, being a dom but not being in the headspace.
Right.
And that fell on flat. Like, no ears for the first, like, 2 weeks, and now it's on, like, 2 million something.
Oh, wow! That's good.
That's because I left it. So I would definitely say, if anyone who's in the game deleting their stuff because you're worried,
there's a tip.
Yeah, keep it up.
You and Peach's tips. What was that? What was that called?
Just the tip.
Just the tip. You're so clever.
I ended up only doing 2 of them because then I had to take that massive break.
Oh yes, yes. So something I'm intrigued about that I want to ask you is, so how long have you been in this industry again? I feel like I've asked you this before. I
started as a solo creator in April 2020. Okay. But very anonymous, only on Reddit, because I was transitioning from teaching to not teaching.
Yes.
And then it was January 2021 I went full time.
Okay. And how has that evolved for you from then to now? Have you learned anything about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, how that's fluctuated along?
I think the biggest thing is allowing myself to be selfish is probably the best thing in terms of work. Like, not just putting yourself first in terms of, especially working with other people. Yeah. Like, when you're working solo, obviously it's all selfish because it's just you. But when you're working with other people, and like, today's different. Like, I wanted to come here and to work because, you know, you've got the time constraint, and I've got the ability to drive. Yeah. So that's fine, you know? But say if someone shoots me a message and says, "Hey, are you ever in London to work?" and I'll just say, I'm not ever in London, but I meet halfway with people. Yeah. That's the kind of thing. Yeah. Like, the first time we shot, we met at a hotel, like a little bit further the middle. So that is probably the biggest change I've had. I kind of started putting myself forward, like, put myself first. I've saved so much money doing it. I really have. My expenses have gone right down because I've looked after myself more. But otherwise, like, I've always had, I think safety was another big one for me. Yeah. Like, safety has always been at the top of my mind, but it's always gotten more and more and more. Yeah. But that is in combat with things that have happened in the industry mostly. Ah, has it? Okay. So you've had experiences which have then sort of brought you to a place of having to make different boundaries and stuff, is that? Yeah, okay. And it's kind of gone up in different levels and stuff. So, like, originally when I started working with people, I was getting the regular cert, which kind of, it's blood, urine, throat and rectal. And that, if you go to, like, Dean Street or any other kind of regular clinic, they'll test you for HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, Hep A, B, C, and chlamydia, and syphilis. Did I say that? No. But then other things had started to come out, didn't they? Like, people were getting... There was an outbreak, wasn't there? Yeah. And then people, like, I knew this already, but people didn't know that you can get gonorrhea in your throat and, like, lots of different things. So education became a big thing for me as well. And then I contracted MGen myself, and I just decided I need to be a bit safer, so I decided to start using condoms in content.
That's what I get to experience today, and I'm loving it. I'm like, when you reached out to me about shooting like that, I was like, absolutely. Like, I am here for promoting anything of good. Do you know what I mean? And if I can promote safety as well, because I love to challenge as well, and it's like, why is there a majority of society that doesn't, or why does that bother them? You know, and I find that a little bit concerning. So it's
I think it's a mix of, I mean, this is just a guess.
Yeah.
This is just kind of like theorising stuff. I think it's a mix of men telling people that it feels bad when you're wearing a condom. Yeah. It doesn't, by the way. It still feels fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I mean, they have internal condoms as well that like women can put in.
Yeah, I've never done that.
I've never tried them. They look a bit
scary. I've never seen them.
What they look like an unsheathed condom, and you have to like put it inside.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but the next time I order, because I do a home kit as well, like halfway between, like extra section. They can send you free condoms, so I might get one of them just to see what it looks like.
Yes.
Like, see what it's
Send me a pic.
Just me holding
Here it is.
Like a fish on.
Ta-da! Old school Bruce's Price is Right. Today's prize is
what's the tax on that?
Yeah. Expenses.
But I was expecting a lot of people to just say no, because you know, I have had that in the past. A couple of creators have said it's not going to sell for me, which is fair enough. And studios as well, their stuff is largely what's called raw.
Yeah.
And but I've had one person say it wouldn't sell for me.
Good. Oh, good.
But then even then they said, you know, we can make other content as well.
Yeah.
Like non-fluid swap stuff.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I love trying all different things, because I felt like one of the points of me working in this industry was my own exploration. And I'm just sort of taking fans, I still cringe at that word, do you know what I mean? Like,
it feels strange.
Yeah, it's like, who do you think you are? Do you know what I mean? But like, along with me with that journey, because as I've been very open and honest throughout my journey doing this adult work, was that I'd never, prior to entering the industry, I'd never had an orgasm with a man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was 35. You know, 35. I can give it to myself.
Yeah.
I believe it was because I'd, one, never felt safe enough to let go. Two, the fear of what society has made me believe of how I'm meant to look at all times. So I don't want to look funny or awkward or whatever, because then they might not like me, or I might put them off if I pull one certain base. Like, that's the level it goes to. Do you know what I mean? Or if my body isn't like perfectly arched in a sexy way. And I recognise that all my life, through having those intimate relations, I have performed.
Right.
And that was it. I've never just had a nice experience, you know?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, right, I'm going to explore myself and take you all along for the ride, the wild ride of it, you know? Yeah. And so I know a lot of people say, oh, you've got, like, have a niche, it will help. But I'm like, but that doesn't even suit me as a person. Like, I'm not one box. I'm like a warehouse full of boxes, you know? And it's like, I might want to be this. And how I rock up on the school run sometimes, I think sometimes I'm in like a flowy hippie dress. The next day I'm in short, tight gym gear. The next day I'm in looking like a therapist. And
depends how you feel.
Yeah, and I love it. So I love that. Like, oh, like, because we are all just like mini creators, aren't we? And it's like, what you actually get to choose what you're going to be, look like, operate like each day. And I love the fact that, I mean, I'm always someone who says to ladies, look, if you want to stick a pair of fishnets on and go to church and sing hallelujah, you go fluffing, do it. I want to show, be that and that.
I can't remember who I was talking to the other day, but we were talking about wearing stuff to kind of. I was saying basically the stuff that I used to wear when I was younger is kind of like this.
Yeah,
and that was the last time that I was really happy.
Yes.
And now I'm happy again. I'm wearing these clothes again. I was like, is that just a coincidence? Or is that the tastes are linked to that psychological thing?
I believe so.
It must be. Because like, I was just basically wearing like emo stuff for the last decade and a half. And I don't know whether that's because it kind of like kept me, everything was very tight and
like an armour?
Yeah, I think so. And I was so conscious of my body that I wanted to show it off more. So the tight stuff, you could see the body more.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, I don't care, I'll wear a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
For me as well, being in this work and this line of work, because there's so many opportunities to be sexy, I then don't feel like, as a woman, that I have to be just in society, which is really lovely. Because if you don't, as a woman, for me, I want to be that and feel that. And if I didn't have this work as a job and an outlet, I would have to express that in some way. It's judged either way.
Yeah.
So I might as well earn. Do you know what I mean? It's judged whether I just be it in society or be it as a career. So it's like,
I know you've got
one brings money.
Well, exactly. That's like there are profiles on like Twitter and Reddit, and they just do it for exhibitionism, and they still get flack as well.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and they'll say like, oh, they'll have comments on it saying, oh, why don't you just start an OF, you slag or whatever? It's like, well, what do you want? Like, do you want them to do it or not? To do it? You know, just let people do what they want to do.
The messages in this world are like, be this, but be like that, but be this, but not too much of that. And then you're wondering why there's like this mental health epidemic and everyone's tired and confused. You know, it's like...
I had someone share one of my reels on their story the other day, and they said, this guy gives me the creeps, but it's a good video. And I was like, no, I'm not. You know, you don't get to insult me and then say it's a good video.
Yeah.
So I just blocked them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, no, you don't get to have the.
It's just mean.
It is.
I don't understand it.
I think it's just people have too much time on their hands. They're having a not as happy a time in their life as they could be, or they've just been bred to believe that everyone needs to know their opinion on something.
Yeah. Do you think every behaviour stems from something, or do you believe that evil exists? Oh, it's a big one, isn't it?
I think it stems from something.
Yeah.
I think it's always... I'm not going to use the word trauma lightly.
Yeah.
But I think in a lot of cases it is...
There's little T's and big T's, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could all affect in whatever way.
Like, I know people that have had the worst childhood ever, and they are saintly.
Yeah.
But then I've heard people who, I've dealt with people in my personal life who had a horrible childhood, and they were horrible to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the way that people deal with things.
Yeah.
And it's all nature, nurture. I think it's the nurture side of things.
It's such a big question, isn't it? It's like...
and the other side of things, I think, people can argue there is evil in the world.
Yeah, I watch so much true crime. So it goes round my head. I'm like...
I just watched that Moors Murders thing on Netflix.
I just watched that the other day.
It's kind of like, was it like a early noughties one or something? It wasn't a new thing.
No.
It was... what were their names?
Oh my god. Myra?
Yeah, Myra Hindley and...
Oh my god, what was his name?
It wasn't...
Ian Brady.
Brady, that's it. Yeah. And that kind of thing, I think people could argue, evil is apparent. But then, they didn't really go into his childhood at all.
No. I just watched yesterday or the other day as well, Gone Girls on Netflix. I mean, if you want to talk about a fanatic of true crime and everything about the stuff against women, that is Mwah. It is. Because I'm such, when I make my dent somehow, I just educate and watch all this stuff. And, oh my God, It's about that Rex Heuermann. I don't know if it was the Long Island murders. Oh, you got to watch it. Netflix.
I definitely will.
I think I've watched every single true crime on Netflix that I'm just waiting for the next one to come out.
Yeah.
Because I'm just
I think it all started with that Making a Murderer for me.
Yes.
I think they just kind of set up how people should make documentaries.
Yes.
But then again, because I do my own little like research and after I watch stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff was left out. And
was it?
It was all very pandered towards him, but like there's other stuff that they didn't include, which also incriminates him, and you know, like.
Oh, okay.
So there's always stuff, but I mean, Moore's murders, obviously, that's plain, and that's the whole case is there to see. But when it comes to modern stuff, I think everything should be taken with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, because there is so many complexities in everything, isn't it? And I think as humans, like so many of us just think we know. Or understands, and actually if you're driven 95% of your day through your subconscious, it might be a good idea to have some humility.
Oh yeah.
And realise you probably don't, you know what I mean? And just remain teachable and open, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, probably make for a bit of a nicer world.
Do you know what, yeah. And I think sometimes people just need to switch their brains off as well.
Yeah.
Stuff all the time. Like whenever I'm having a bad day, I'll go and destroy myself in a workout or something, and then I'll feel better, or I'll write everything down and have a day full of writing, and then I feel like I'm a bit more centered and not so quick to believe or to be angry about stuff, you know,
because you do all the book talk and that, don't you?
Yeah,
it's very, very good at it.
Yeah, book talk found me back.
It does give you the little one. You know, like you listen and you say something, and then you're up at the mic and it's like, oh. Yeah. It's nice. It works very well. You suit it so well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's sometimes because I have to edit in particular my audio erotica that I have online.
God, I love that
word. Erotica.
Just love it.
Yeah, it's good.
I
think it's nice how it's linked to audio more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, everything else that we create is erotica.
I heard there's a really big female audience.
Huge.
Is it called smut?
Yeah, smut.
Smuts, yeah. I'm just learning all this.
Oh, really?
And I love it. I love words. Words can get me off.
It's basically been my world for the last year.
Love it.
It's been so I've been trying to build it and everything. You heard of Quinn as well?
Quinn?
It's an audio erotica app. Loads of different voice artists on there.
I've got to get on this.
Yeah, it's good. Like I think it's $5 a month or something to subscribe.
Yeah.
I've been trying to become a creator on it, but I think they're a little bit kind of overcast with that was close with like white male creators. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Go that way, babe.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes when I'm editing my audios and I listen to it back, at first I used to cringe. It's like when you first make a video of yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I don't know.
Or even hear your own voice note back or something, or like, you know.
And then I listen to how filthy I am in that, and I'm like,
why did my tongue come out? She was like filthy. My immediate reaction, that was totally involuntary. Just went. Oh my God!
I'll play you some later.
Yes.
Actually, we could record it.
We should do another scene sometime as well, where it's like you either play something or you're just saying it to me, and then have a camera down there and just see how juicy I get. That would be really interesting, wouldn't it?
That'd be good.
See the effect.
It could be like an under the desk at work type thing. Yeah. Or that could become like a fantasy type situation actually, because you could just be at work on your own, got your earpods in, and then I
want to see how she responds. You'll probably see her like have a little pulse and a little dribble.
That'd be good.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea. We'll have to find somewhere with like an office chair, desk.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm thinking now.
Well, we've got evidence that we can not forget that now, so we will do it.
Yes.
But yeah, that's been my world for a while. Your voice would go down really well as
well. Do you reckon? I think if anyone just heard me cackle just now, they'd be like,
"Oh."
Think again. No, I could, because I do get a lot of subscribers that do say you've got like a sex line voice, like hello.
People love that kind of Essexy.
Yeah.
I think especially
it's got a little bit deep.
Yeah, I mean that's what I generally do. I can. My line that I always start things off with is, "Hello, darling."
I know. Yeah. And I always say darling. That's my word, all the time. Even on my page and that, it's like, hi darling. You know, it's always darling. And I think I wrote it once on something and I thought, oh my God, Peaches probably thinks I'm nicking his thing. But I always say darling. Well, I love the word darling.
I think it's such a British thing, really.
It is. Yeah.
So, no, it's everyone's word. It's not just mine. You could do a little audio one day as well.
Yes.
Yeah, getting on that because I'm always trying to get people who can actually act.
Yeah.
Because audio erotica is acting.
Yeah. Intention.
And I know you can act.
Thank you. I do enjoy it. That's the thing. I went actually to stage school, and I trained for 3 years in London. And I always used to get cast as just like an extra, and I was always sort of the prisoner's wife or something, or never got really taken very seriously. And I really wanted to do like the National with some like nitty gritty, like emotional thing, but it's just getting that chance of being seen like that, which was hard. And so it's like I aged and then was like, no. Let's just go into the adult industry. At least I get to act somehow.
Do you think you'd go like? Because I've always wanted to do like Amdram stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to. Yeah. I remember when I was getting sober before I had a child or anything, and I was on my own, and I lived in this flat, and I read a book by Julia Cameron called The Artist's Way, and it's about if you're a creative and you're feeling like you've got writer's block or this or that, it's a 12-step process. She's in AA as well, so it's like the 12 steps of AA, but it's not. I think it's a 10-step process of finding your creative self again, like recovering the creative self. And one of the things was to take yourself out on like a date. And so I booked myself an amateur dramatics class, and I took myself... So I would sometimes take myself out for food, just sort of getting to know myself again, and putting yourself out of a comfort zone. And I just walked in the rain to a little village hall and queued up and waited for an Amdram class. And it was like going back to basics, like stripping it bare again.
That is what you need sometimes.
Yeah, it was lovely.
I'm not conscious of this, but because my degree was in creative writing.
Oh, love it, yeah.
Well, my degree and then my master's were both in creative writing. And I just stopped writing when I became a teacher back in the day.
Really?
And writing all this smut has got me back into it. I'm writing a book now.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just finished chapter 7.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's so I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's paranormal erotica.
Oh, that clock! Did you see the process then? I went, when I realised, when it really sunk in, like I heard it and it was like, oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's fun so far, yeah.
Do you find it when you write, because I follow and watch Florence Given on socials, I adore her, she's an author. Oh my God, I've got her book, Women Don't Owe You Pretty. Love it, really, really good. And she's got some others, and she's very out there, and she's very like, reclaim yourself, be yourself, explore yourself. Like, I just love her. She's got bright pink hair, but she wears green and leopard print and gold, and I'm like, I'm here for it. Where was I actually going with that? That was it. It was, she goes to certain places to write.
Okay.
Like, say if you got a deal with a publisher and you got an advance, you can have money, can't you, to go to a location or something to inspire you. Where would be if you had that resource, where would be a place you'd like to go that you feel would activate all your creative juices to write?
Do you know what always pops into my head? You've seen Love Actually? Mm-hmm. When Colin Firth is in that little cottage in France, I think it is, and then he's on the lake.
Oh my God, I'm thinking of The Holiday. It's not The Holiday, Love Actually.
I mean, that too, that cottage actually.
Yeah, I love that vibe.
Anything that's like cozy and and
ambient.
Yeah, just completely just nature.
Yeah.
But then that also would terrify me because I'm so used to like having technology around me all the time and stuff. Like I could never just use a typewriter. I like to use pen and paper and then have my laptop.
Yeah.
You know.
I wouldn't be able to write quick enough, and then I'd forget what was there by the time I'd actually done it on a typewriter. One of my things when I was, again, early days of sobriety, I did a vision board, and I've still got it. It's actually in my bedroom. And one of the things on there was like a kitchen with wooden worktops and a butler sink, and I wanted a place to write where I was at a window and I could just see green. And I actually have all that now.
Oh.
I've got a butler sink.
Oh.
Wooden sides. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
How mad is that? And I was going to have the little room upstairs was going to be my writing room, and it looks out to the trees. It's now a dressing room after it was a baby room. Which he never went in. So I decided to put all my clothes in there instead.
That's nice. It's kind of like different stages, isn't
it? Yeah. Maybe one day I'll get back to having myself a little writing space, because I find writing so therapeutic. When I had an ectopic pregnancy and I was recovering from that, my dog's trying to hunt my cat. He can definitely feel the air, energy in this air of the company he's around, and it's kicked him off, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
No, thank you. Let's not do that. Need to ask her.
Yeah.
Need to ask her if she wants that.
Consent, and I'm pretty sure she wouldn't.
No, it's what was I saying just then?
Writing.
Yes, writing was what got me through. So I was diagnosed with PTSD and all that after that, because it was in my tube and it was missed for a month, and I actually had my tube taken away. Oh, it's a really long story. I was like rushed into theatre. I was about to die. And my way to process it and get through it was write. So I made a blog and I called it Memoirs by Me. And that, I think, was one of the biggest healing aspects of my recovery. That was writing. I resist it. I resist all the nice things that are really good for yourself, but I do it.
Yeah, I think it's a good form of therapy. I resisted going to therapy for ages.
Yeah.
And then I went for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was much better for it.
Yeah, same. I did 4 years trauma therapy and then about 18 months of EMDR. Which sort of feels worse before it gets better, but then you're out in life one day and you realise you've integrated and you're like, oh, I'm working better.
It like activates lots of memories, right? Yeah.
So you go back, it's as if you were to imagine your brain being like a computer and it's had, because ultimately you just got data coming in all the time and your brain's filtering it in whatever way it's learned how to, because the brain's job isn't to make you happy, it's to protect you, but it might have learned it in a really messed up way. Hence why some of the unacceptable things feel acceptable to some, or you'll be self-sabotaging. You know you are, but you don't know why you can't stop it, and it's like because it's learnt that way and you've got kind of remove the viruses as such, or the glitches, and then rewire. I say it's like having a hardware and then creating a software.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way.
I like that. I just really cringed myself. But that's how I view it. Because I have to make things like juicy, and the way I visualise and the words I give it and the description and articulation for it, and it sinks into me, and then something in me just knows it. And so it's kind of like you go back to those times, and the data that got stuck in your amygdala where your fight flight freezes, it didn't get to process. It got stuck there, and the trauma's there, stuck in the body. So you sort of go back to it, but with a safe person facilitating the session and having a safe place in your mind set up, you process.
Right.
So it's as if, like those old computers, and you see the data with the green going across, the green numbers. It's like it got stuck once, and now your body is doing things to save itself from back then.
Right.
But you get to now process the information, so you don't have to keep trying to save yourself and keep repeating bad cycles. Yeah, have I made any sense there?
Yeah, no, you have. It's just when it comes to like psychological stuff, it's so difficult to understand from the beginning. Yeah. And that's why I did really badly in psychology.
Yeah.
At college, and I didn't go on to be a psychologist.
I tried to put it more in my terms. It's just that I talk very fast and I self-process as I talk. It's why I do this, because I'm self-processing as I talk, and then I'm thinking in my brain, they must think you are nuts.
Well, no, yeah, this is why, because you've got neurodivergence.
Yes.
Of a couple of kinds.
Yeah, all ADHD.
Yeah, so that's why sometimes it's harder to tell a story.
Yes.
Because you're constantly a couple of steps ahead, thinking about stuff, and then you jump and you miss something and you have to come back.
Yeah.
It makes sense to you.
Yes.
But then other people are like...
Totally.
Oh, yeah, script.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, I totally get that. And actually, writing helps me with that.
Yeah, I bet. It slows you down.
Yeah, you map it out. You say, right, I need to talk about this first, and then I can talk about that. And then if you want to jump ahead, you can still fill in the gaps later on.
Yeah, I suppose because you've got your sort of little bit of structure first that you can remember. Because I'd end up forgetting if I didn't.
A lot of people write the end. They write the beginning and then the end, and then they just fill in that little gap. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's how I used to write essays as well at uni.
I might try that for my next essay.
It is quite helpful. Gives you a bit more of an established goal. Otherwise, you just keep on writing, and then you get into this.
And I go off on a tangent.
Yeah, it helps stop the tangents. Like some people even write the conclusions to paragraphs before that, but I think that's a bit weighty, you know.
I wonder whether I could manage that. Probably not. I'll give it a go with the beginning and the end.
Yeah, that worked.
Not
that
the
used to work
paragraph
for
thing.
me. Yeah.
Is that what I'm thinking is we're going to get to it with a scene. Is there anything that you would like to bring into this before we wrap it up? Anything you have an urge or desire to talk about or to bring to the realm of the public, or what you just like?
I'd probably just reiterate the importance of testing for trick now.
Totally.
That's what I'm just trying to plug everywhere I can.
Yeah.
Because I know that creators watch this.
I require it, and usually on a 2 max to 3 week set, and then I ask who they've worked with in that time as well, that they've been tested, that the people they've worked with have been tested for engine and trick too.
Yeah.
No matter how uncomfortable it might be, if some people, I've had it before where sometimes they act like you're being a bit too much, and which is a big trigger for moi.
Big red flag as well.
Yeah.
If they say like, oh no, this is a bit too much testing, then they're not the right person.
Yeah, and it's just
same thing with people pushing a boundary and saying like, if you don't want to do something, and they say, oh, it'll be really good.
Yeah,
that's true,
very true. Me and Peaches are big on safety. We're big on consent, communication. We love. I'm speaking for both of us here. I do apologise. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we do really like to promote and advocate for anything of an adult nature in a healthy, safe way, and that it can still be attractive as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Even more so than the other way, you know.
Because the more comfortable you are, then the shit looks every single time.
100%, which is a big reason for me doing these chats as well, is because it's in Deep with Kayla that you have a deep chat, see where it goes. I don't ever really have anything set out. I don't want it to be scripted. I want it to see what emerges out of that and prove to myself how I can manage and navigate a conversation and all that goes up in my nut, and say, well done, KK.
And it's also and it's also good to do it beforehand as well.
Yes.
Not only to establish that connection, but to not look sweaty and, you know, you're going to look a little bit.
Sometimes I really like myself when I've, because I am my biggest critic, but once I've been a bit dishevelled, I quite enjoy what I look like.
We got a photo after one of our scenes, it's a good photo.
I think I suit the look of SEX.
Oh yeah.
I think I was kind of made for this.
Like I know some male creators in particular who put on like foundation on their face because they get really flush, and
show it, babe.
My face goes like beetroot. Like after 5 minutes, like I'll go down in between some legs, I'll come up and I'm. But like,
I love it.
The amount of comments I've had for people saying it's so hot.
It is.
And if you're a little bit sweaty, you know, like that. Like I'll always say I'm sorry if I'm dripping. Like,
babe, let me tell you now, before we do this thing, you do not have to apologise for that, because all that authenticity, realness gets me off.
I love it.
So
I love it.
drip all over me.
Yeah, same.
And I'll just put my feet.
Let's get drippy.
Let's get in deep.